An anonymous 49ers player is saying that the game was rigged for them to lose and the Eagles to go on to an advance to the Super Bowl. What a loser. You really are a 49er. Too bad what you're digging up is fool's gold. What's up? It's your boy Cintron coming back with another Around the League issue. And we're looking at different issues around the league and dealing with the Eagles and some dealing with other teams and whatnot happenings and all that. But let's jump into first these issues with these 49ers. So Brock Purdy is set to have surgery, Tommy John surgery, after he tore his UCL in his elbow. It's completely torn, so that wipes out the 6-week recovery. Would have been just to let it heal on its own. Now it's going to be 6 to 12 months for that thing to heal, and depending on whether it's going to have to be just surgically repaired or reconstructed, that would be a very critical setback, and it's a tough, break for the young man. But this is football. These type of things happen. Injuries. It didn't happen on purpose. It wasn't a dirty play. The linebacker was coming around the horn, Hassan Reddick, and it just happened. To time up with his throwing motion, hit it while just as he was releasing the ball, and yeah, it was unfortunate that he was knocked out of the game with that injury. But blame Kyle Shanahan. He put a backup tight end over there to block our best pass rusher who came into the playoffs with 16 sacks. This is a habitual thing with Kyle, but that's besides the point. Purdy, his training camp might be in play, but it depends on whether it's a 6-month window or a 12-month window or somewhere in between. But, obviously not good news because Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be out of there, most likely. And Trey Lance coming back, but, he hasn't really shown much. He hasn't had a chance really to start because he got injured. That's why we were looking at Purdy versus Hurts in the first place. But, yeah, nothing but well wishes for him, but not for this next player. So an unknown player who chose to remain so because he didn't want to get fined. Okay, it's smart, but still a coward. So, put your name out there. Put a face to the name and a name to the face by telling us who said this, because it's just, a bitch move at this point. But this motherfucker said that he thought the league wanted to send the Eagles to the Super Bowl once Brock got hurt, to make it a better story, all the storylines and all that stuff, and then, potentially with, Chiefs matchup and all that. But, sir, you were out there on the field, first-hand experience. You saw how horrible y'all played with no quarterback, with fourth-string quarterback Josh Johnson, the journeyman in the league. He's played for 13 teams, so over 1/3 of the teams in the league he's played for. Been passed around more than these hoes. Like, what the hell were you thinking? We could have gifted you a quarterback from our side and you still wouldn't have won. Like, to say okay, before, to say like maybe it was set up like that, Hassan Reddick was paid to, put out a hit, maybe. But it just, the luck of the draw with him affecting the pass and then, injuring him on that play, it's a freak injury. It's a freak incident to even be, put in that position to have the ball, have the elbow, the forearm contacted when he was making that throw. Okay, I can see some other arguments being made that, other things are rigged, but not this. That's just too perfect of a situation for it to happen in. But to go on and say that they wanted him to win, what were y'all doing out there against that defense? How else were you going to score points? And the self-inflicted penalties. There's one I could give you with the running into the kicker when the punter kicked the ball off. Okay, maybe he was pushed. When it slowed it down, I was like, okay, I can see that. But how the hell else were y'all going to win the game, even with no gifts? This is a Christmas and you are poor, homeless, and starving on the streets. So you don't even worry about presents. Worry about fucking surviving. So that just blew my mind. I'm like, you really are digging for false gold here. A moron. You're just a fucking idiot. But yeah, anyways, moving on. Let's look at some of the things the Eagles are facing. So the cap for next year we set at $224.8 million per team, and it's a $16.6 million increase from last year. Well, this current year that's still running. And man, you know how Roseman's got to be looking like Birdman. Like, I'm trying to get multiple players. All three of y'all can come and play for these boys here. But the Eagles have $4.2 million projected, and I'm like, how? Because it says that our cap number is $228 million, which will put us $4 million under, or I say over the cap, and a minus. And I'm like, but you know what Mr. Roseman, Howie Roseman loves to do. He loves to move money around to spread out the cap hit, to prorate, put a bonus there. You get a bonus, and you get a bonus, and you get a bonus. So make the salary minimal and give them guaranteed money up front to move the numbers around. He'll most likely, not most likely, he will do that in the offseason. So that'll give us some space. It could give us anywhere from 15 to 20 million extra to operate with. And then the people that currently won't be resigned and offloading the contracts and stuff like that, that might give us anywhere to, from in totality with those cap moves, 30 to 40 million. I'm just projecting. I don't know the actual numbers, and have to go and reassess and look. But that'll be another video to do in the offseason after the Super Bowl. I just can't really focus on anything but that. This video is a run-of-the-mill kind of mixer, but whatever. But I like to believe, definitely with Howie, we'll be in decent shape to make some moves here or there. Resign a lot of our own guys. I mean, that's where we really need to focus and decide, who stays and who goes. He stays. He goes. So we'll see. But next, Lane Johnson tore his abductor in the Giants game, and he actually said he actually felt relieved because it came clean off. So instead of being nagging, it's just purely a pain tolerance thing. But I'm like, this dude is just an Iron Man. Disney don't copyright strike me for that shit. But to continue to fight through this injury, and he's putting off surgery, delaying surgery this whole time, trying to get through one more game. And I like our chances. And some matchups could be there. Chris Jones could be facing him. We saw that he rushed for 6 snaps on the outside as a DN. So they're doing so many things with him. But we'll dive into that later. But yeah, it's just all the people that are injured. But we started our original 22. Then the only team, definitely in the playoffs, to do that. And the health, man. The health, it's just paramount. We'll get to that a little bit later. But next, Jermaine Pratt, a linebacker for the Bengals, he apologized for yelling at his teammate Joseph Osai after his huge, tremendous, colossal, idiotic blunder in the AFC Championship game, pushing Patty Mahomes in the back. And he explained why. He, saying that he was trying to pull him back, but he was just out of his mind at that point, just focused in. But unfortunately, hit the quarterback. They want to put hits on him, and I would have hit him more in that game to try and target that ankle. Well, hey, call it what it is, but I know he's affected. Just not even hit the ankle, but just alligator roll after sacking him or whatever. Just hey, you do what you got to do to win the game within the rules, of course, which that is. But he hit him out of bounds, and it's just like a boneheaded play. Just say, what the fuck were you thinking? But he paid for it, and he's still paying for it because he's torn up about it inside. But most of the teammates did support him. BJ Hill was actually with him side by side while he answered questions about it. And then of course the reporters, they're gonna do their job. But some of the stuff was just heartless, just pushing on. Just BJ's like, all right, man, he's checking the reporters because they're just being relentless, asking him, trying to get him so many ways, to Sunday to say, how do you feel about this? How do you think the man feels? You see his eyes are still red, beet red, from crying his eyes out. We saw it on national television, and it's just like hard to see. Because I mean, like, even I'm like, you idiot, you're a fucking moron. But still seeing, you feel for the guy because he made a very human mistake. None of us are perfect. We are, shouldn't know that. If you think you are, you're beyond delusional, beyond help. But yeah, I mean, like, his coach came out and said, I mean, like, they didn't lose the game on that one play. So, and Joe Burrow also, comforted him. But, it is what it is at this point. There's nothing that you can do but reflect. And like you said, I'll just try to be better and learn from this and grow from this. But, yeah, he said, what in the F were you thinking? Don't even get near the quarterback or touch the quarterback. But he was pissed about it. And he's rightfully, he has a right to be, to be angry about that. Because, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, of course, it was, a play here, a play there, defense, not coming through, and offense being inept. Joe Burrow throwing 2 picks. But they still had a chance at the end, and that hurt. That just hurt, seeing that. As a football fan, it hurts seeing that. I'm like, no way in hell. No way in hell. Like Josh Jobe for the Eagles had, corner for the Eagles had 2 penalties yesterday. I'm like, man, you motherfucker. What the fuck are you doing? I'm pissed off at him. Like, what the fuck are you doing, man? What the fuck are you thinking? But luckily that, didn't affect the overall outcome of the game. So, all right, next. The big one here. So many Chiefs players were hurt yesterday, and then some were coming in hurt, and, they went out again with injuries. So, McCole Hardman, the receiver, fast guy, but dealing with that pelvis injury, he went out again. I don't know if it was related directly to that, but often when you get injured, surrounding injuries, they often weaken. Those areas get weakened as well, and you become susceptible to more injuries. So he'll try to get healed up and play in the Super Bowl. Kadarius Toney, ankle, came out of the game. A good pickup for them via trade versus the Giants. I'm like, what the hell were they thinking? Just letting the guy go, but maybe they know something that we don't, or just just trying to offload a player that's not a good culture fit for them. But yeah, has an ankle injury, and probably rehabbing and be able to play. Juju Smith-Schuster, knee injury, so those are more serious and a little bit more scary, and only 2 weeks. So we'll see if he can play, but not scared of him. He's possession receiver. Not scared of any of these guys, but collectively, if they can field all 5. L'Jarius Sneed, their corner, rookie guy, had concussion, so they're real, apt to not play around with those. But still, like I said, 2 weeks, and he has to go through concussion protocol and all that stuff, but most likely he'll be cleared. And then, of course, the big one, Patty Mahomes, that high ankle sprain, so it's 2 weeks, but I like his chances of not being fully healed, but being, healed enough. But actually, he played better with the injury because he had to, not around his mobility, scrambling ability to be able to buy time. And that actually could go in his favor because he has to play more judiciously and not count on being able to buy extra seconds. So, find those reads and not play hero ball. So we'll see coming up in the game, and we'll hear ad nauseum so many things about the game, and useless statistics and facts and all this crap we want to know about. But it'll be a good 2-week build up. And lastly, we're gonna get to, man, this is historic. 2 black quarterbacks facing each other for the first time ever, starting quarterbacks in the Super Bowl. And that's just a historic point. And I'm just gonna say this: if you don't get it, especially if you don't get it from that standpoint of the league and their history with black quarterbacks, and it wasn't a rule, but if you were a black quarterback coming out in a college ranks or whatever amateur league, you weren't even allowed. They would just convert you to a DB skill position. That was the history. And in the 70s, finally, the Steelers broke through, and just a groundbreaking franchise with the Rooney Rule and things that they implemented to help black players finally get respect in the league and get their due justice. Like, they started a quarterback, and yeah, finally, things, black men were allowed to break through in the league, and we still, saw, like, of course, it was still stigmatized and people didn't want it, but finally, it was not just accepted. Like people out there looking for a mobile quarterback, and the black athlete had a lot to do with that and developing that and developing the league. So may not get his kudos and may not. Some people may not understand the significance of it, but that's big, huge. So you can say the black community could be winners. I don't give a fuck about that. I just want my team, Hurts, to win. This is gonna hurt if we don't. But anyway, let's get up out of here. We'll be doing more of these type of videos around the league type stuff and seeing what's going on. But I'm getting out of here. Fly, Eagles, fly. Let's motherfucking go. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Check me out at Cintron, Cintron Anime, Cintron Life, or Cintron Laughs, or other social media.